Well, good morning and welcome everyone to today's session with FuseSign and BGL Corporate Solutions. My name is Daniel Tramontana and I will be introducing you right now to Melissa Voss from FuseSign. Welcome, Melissa.
Thank you, Daniel.
Today we're going to be exploring a really interesting topic around adopting digital signatures for your practice. And we've at BGL have teamed up with FuseSign to deliver to you what we believe is a pretty unique and great product when it comes to a digital signing solution. Now, Melissa today is going to go through the FuseSign. She's going to go through the benefits of it, the trend that's taking place insofar as the replacement of wedding signatures. And then she'll also talk a little bit about how the whole signature or digital signing process works within FuseSign. I'll leave it to Melissa to make some announcements around what we're doing with BGL and when that's going to be released. And there's some really exciting developments taking place there. And during the session, we will be looking at and taking questions, and we will provide answers. So if you type your questions in the Q&A section, what I will be doing is I'll be monitoring the questions that come through, and then at the opportune time, I will come in and I'll ask Melissa those questions. But Melissa, thank you so much for being a part of BGL RegTech and being a part of this series. I'm wrapped with what you guys do. I love your business. I love your culture. I love the solution that you provide. And what I'm seeing is that, you guys have a product which there is a great appetite for, and I know that your business is growing, and I'm just stoked for you and your team, and we've got some great things coming forward in the future. So Melissa, I'd love you to share that journey, to share your insights, and to the audience, you're in for a treat. So Melissa, I'm going to hand it over to you.
Well, thank you, Daniel. Very heartfelt welcome, and to get out the tissues. I just like to introduce myself firstly. I'm one of the co-founders here at FuseWorks, and I am very excited to be talking to you today about digital signing and when it might be right for your firm to embrace digital signing as well. So many of you on the line do know me already. I am the one that you get to chat with, sometimes in person, more recently over Zoom. And I love working with clients to figure out ways that they can get time back. And one of those is through digital signing. And we're really focused on giving you time back so that you can focus on what really matters in your practice. And that's our mantra. I am a chartered accountant myself. I have many years in the industry managing an accounting practice here in Brisbane. And I have first-hand experience on the pain points that firms are having. And I do love my job. I love it because we're solving problems and we're getting great feedback from firms that technology has played a big part in just making their day-to-day better for them and their teams. So before we get started, I'll just quickly cover off on what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to talk a little bit about why the pen and paper signature is quickly becoming, obsolete in our day and age. Some of the signs that your firm should think about adopting digital signing. And I know we've got probably a range of people on the line. Some of you may already have sort of started down the path of digital signing. Some may be well and truly through it, and some may not know much about it at all. So we're just going to start with the basics of, why you should actually think about digital signing and how we've solved that pain point. We're going to talk about the benefits of that and what makes FuseSign unique. So there's lots of different digital signing platforms out there, and we'll talk about the spin we've put on it and why we've done it the way we've done it. And it does come from a place of real understanding of the accounting industry. And anyone you talk to in our team, you will get that shine through in terms of why we've done what we've done. And we do have questions as well and a time for that. And Daniel's keen to just jump in if need be and ask any of those questions. A little bit of housekeeping. We'll move through this quite quickly so you don't forget your questions as they arise. Please feel free to ask them in the Q&A feature. You'll see that on your screen. I will probably wait till the end, but Daniel's going to be moderating those questions if there's anything else that comes through that's relevant. So you can see on screen, we're probably all too familiar with Zoom and the Q&A feature, but feel free to use that to jump in and ask any questions you have. Okay, so firstly, to give some context to why we're on the line today and why BGL is putting us forward as a digital signing partner in their platform. I thought I would quickly start with who we are and why we have the product suite, and why, I guess, we decided to focus on digital signing at the beginning of last year. So we do look to deliver tools to accounting firms to make their lives easier. Based on I guess, our accounting experience and our accounting practice, we did focus on the mantra, there has to be a smarter way. And we went searching for some solutions many years ago and couldn't find some of the things we were looking for. So we turned our ideas into action. And my business partner, Scott Barber, and I decided that we were going to try to streamline some of those frustrations through technology. And that's what we've been doing for at least the last 5 years. Our product FuseDocs was the first tool that focused on smart collation, I guess, technology to automate collations out of your practice management and document management systems to give you the chance to produce professional report packages to clients and streamline the manual and quite boring, to tell you the truth, process of collating documents for clients. And there's lots of compliance functions in accounting practices, but that is very relevant. The extension of that early last year was to give you the ability to send those documents and any document to any client in your practice using our FuseSign technology. It was launched last year because we had lots of our clients asking us for a smart, simple digital signing platform that's built for us as accountants. And the need last year with the lockdown and the continual lockdown, it seems, was to keep the high level of service for our clients and to keep interacting with our accounting clients in a really simple, secure and powerful way, so that we could have time to do the proactive parts of our job. The topic of today, so, we all know how a wet signature works. Pen to paper. There is no doubt that has been the way it's been done forever. But in today's fast-paced electronic and digital world, we're wanting things to happen faster, more instantaneous, and it's happening more and more often. So sticking to that traditional wet signature approach really has its disadvantages. It takes much longer, and we would have all had this experience in last year where there's been a lot of pressure on the postal system and the delivery system. Stuff's just taking so much longer to get to your client, not to mention they've got to sign it. They've then got to get it back to the post office. And the turnaround time is something that's been really frustrating, and it's really, I guess, risen to the forefront in the last year. The delays of that can mean an impact on your business, an impact on, even some of the turnaround on queries and things that we need our clients to do to continue moving forward with our job, or lodging certain documents by a certain time. So there's quite a few ramifications of using wet signatures and the time that can take. Cost is also another major factor. The paper cost, the ink cost, the postage cost, not to mention filing and storage. And I've got some numbers that I'll share throughout the session from a recent client that has firsthand seen that and has been able to quantify for us, so we can share with other clients that value, the bottom line value that implementing our solutions in their practice has meant for them. It's also, I guess, difficult to store the hard copy documents. I know our practice, we moved premises about 10 years ago, and the accounting practice went from having, a whole storeroom full of compactuses and documents, and even the rigor around where those documents were. Are they filed in the right spot? What if you want to work from home? It's just that nobody even likes the filing task, even just that manual sort of task of doing that. So it's difficult to store, and you're paying for storage. So if we can eliminate that, your lives are going to be a lot easier as well. Nobody likes, I worked, I guess, in an admin function in the accounting firm many moons ago. That was probably the part of my job that I hated. So if you keep everything electronic and digital, there's no paper to start with. You've got nothing getting printed for review, nothing getting printed for signing, nothing having to be scanned back in at the other end. So there is quite a lot of benefit in looking at that electronic approach. So, you know, the impact on the environment as well. There is so much paper waste. There is so much in postage and delivery costs that just don't need to be there anymore. So there are enough reasons to at least look at digital signing if you're not doing that. And hopefully by the end of today's session, you'll realise it's not as daunting and it's not as hard or you know, as far-fetched an idea as you might have thought in the past. And look, as I mentioned, there's probably different people on the line with different stages of their digital signing journey, but it really is quite simple to implement. And that's the sort of stuff we pride ourselves on, holding your hand to make it easier for you to take that little leap, and letting you know that it's not hard to implement in your practice and for your clients. It's all about the education. So there are some signs in your business, and if these are the things that you're going, oh yeah, we do that, oh yeah, I've been told that that's a problem, this is the stuff that you need to be taking note of and doing something about. If you've got, I guess, frustrations in delayed document execution, you know, you're not meeting deadlines, you're getting penalties for late lodgement of stuff, that's an indicator. Even, you know, looking at the CAS 360 platform, and, you know, a lot of you on the line would be BGL clients. If you're not taking advantage of what BGL have offered when it comes to digital signing, the integration is gold. The processes and the workflow, the speed at which your clients can get what they need to get, and your company statement, for example. Act on that, sign it, and have it back to you. And the workflow that BGL have put into that, while leveraging our signing technology as a fully integrated part of that, that's the stuff that you should be taking advantage of. I hear too often firms have got these smart tools and they're not using it to the maximum. So for example, CAS 360, oh no, but we print that and we put that in the mail for our client to sign. The fact is you don't need to do that anymore. And this is where FuseSign is going to offer a very cost-effective way to be able to leverage that without that fear of it being, you know, a ridiculous cost for you. If your clients are getting frustrated by your current process as well, that's something that, you know, it is frustrating. We all expect stuff instantly now. We expect to not have to go to our printer. A lot of people don't even have printers at home. They want the ability to sign on their mobile, sign on their computer, and have it returned, and their job is done. So that's the sort of stuff you can really amplify your client experience. And, you know, the cost of, and I mentioned before, paper, ink, printers, postage, that doesn't need to be there anymore. So we can really reduce that expense. Another thing is, I guess, the process around brand consistency and the deliverability of what you're giving to your clients and in what way. So one of the things we pride ourselves on is having a signing solution that you can use across your entire business, and the likes of integrating with BGL for that corporate compliance and super fund, you know, documentation. That's one element of your business. But if you can give your client the same signing experience with any documents coming from that, plus every other document that's leaving your office, from tax returns to financials to minutes to engagement letters, that is the part that we are trying to focus on. The ultimate client experience, so that they're interacting with you in exactly the same way. They know how to work with you. There's no barrier to that interaction, but also us giving you the tools to make that really easy from your end as well. If you're finding it hard to manage large family groups and individual roles being different, and you need to send different documents to different people, and there's different then postage because they live in different locations, and what if you've got the same minute that has to be signed by 10 directors? How do you go about handling that in a paper trail? It's really frustrating and clunky. That's the sort of stuff that digital signing can combat really, really easy. 10 people get one document, they all sign it, comes back, done. If you've also been, I guess, worried about security and document storage, if you're using, I guess, email and having your client print or sending in the mail, there's not as much security over the documents that leave your office. Whereas embarking on a digital signing platform gives you that level of comfort and security and control over who's seeing stuff and the level of two-factor authentication that we can put in there. So there is a huge, there's been a huge advancement in all of that technology in recent years. So if that security and sort of comfort around that has been something that's been a bit concerning to you, there isn't a concern around that anymore in terms of the way we can authenticate people and add layers of security to what we're doing. I am, as you can probably appreciate, all for automation. If there is inefficient processes in your practice that a machine can do, they should be doing it. Human resources are much more expensive and creative, and we want people to be focusing on creating better value for your business and nurturing your clients rather than standing at the printer, binding, or trying to, send documents out, get them scanned in, etc., etc. So the flow on processes and the benefits that digital signing can bring are huge. So we always, I guess, try to use the saying, treat your technology as a colleague. That's what they're there for. They're an extra set of hands. They're an electronic set of hands to do the repetitive and the boring tasks. And more we're going to find that our platforms are going to be more integrated and better able to tap into things like digital signing to enable you to have that seamless process. So look, there are so many benefits. I could be here all day talking about why you should think about this. But the key things, the efficiency, the better the client experience, click to sign, click from their mobile, sign without even being at the computer, sign when they're on holidays, sign when they're sitting on the beach in Fiji. Help the planet so there's no more printing. We can really reduce that. Reduce the costs, and your brand is showcased and your way of doing business with your client is much superior. And that's the flow and benefit of your clients and talking to their friends about how easy it is to do business with your business. And more we need to try to just be better than the accounting firm next door. So we can do that in so many ways, and this is one of those ways. The other two benefits that, again, are probably the most important and often get overlooked. I'm really passionate about these ones. Happier team. You do not want your team disengaged with boring, repetitive tasks. They have not studied for that. They are not in a role growing and evolving to do that stuff. This is going to give them more meaningful work. And we've built our particular platform, and I'll go into that in a minute, but based on trying to make that as simple as possible and trying to cut out all of those manual interactions that might be there if it weren't for technology doing that. And the cost savings, we've talked about that. It's not just the paper, the ink, it's actually the human resource time. You would be surprised if you were watching a team member doing even a collation task, sending out to the client, filling out the mailbook, confirming, has it gone? Is it back yet? Have we lodged that? Oh, who's signed it? Who hasn't? There's lots of those sort of flow-on processes that you just sort of don't realise how much time they do take, and how I guess it's not visible at a practice level what's even out for signing and what's back and who's managing that. So again, that's the sort of stuff that digital signing can really just improve for you. So why FuseSign then? And we're just going to dive into a little bit of the why behind FuseSign. We weren't planning on doing a product demo today. There is better ways to have a look at FuseSign, and I'll talk about how that is and how easy it is for you to have a play yourself. So I just want to give you the big ticket items as to why you should even have a look at FuseSign and what we've got to offer. I'm hopefully by now have convinced you that digital signing has the ability to add significant value to your business. And I'm now going to cover off on why we think FuseSign stands out in terms of it being really unique to accountants. So I mentioned we're accountants. We get what you do. We know what works, and we have built FuseSign for that very reason. Every part about the being of FuseSign, if FuseSign was a person, is based on market research with our clients. Simple, but accounting-focused signing solution. Daniel's popped up. He's probably got a question for me.
Yes, I just wanted to remind you what I look like.
Oh,
No, Melissa, there's been a question here. Are we able to have digital signing for executed documents such as confidential agreements?
okay, so look, the answer to that, and it depends on what type of agreement. There is a lot of rigor around, well, there's lots of rules around electronic signing or digital signing. And there's lots of legislation. There's been lots of changes in the last year around that, and there's some more pending. Depends what you need signed off, essentially. And we've got a good legal page on our website that covers off on the things that you can't currently digitally execute and the things that you can, and the reason for that. So there are some things in terms of company, execution and trust deeds that there's still a little bit of grayness around that. And the fact is most of those can't be electronically signed. But in terms of a document, a confidential document, there's no reason a confidential document can't be signed through our platform because it's a confidential system. I guess it just comes down to what it actually is and does it meet the criteria of that Electronic Transactions Act? Is it able to be signed digitally or not? So yeah, we can talk more about that. But probably the legal page on our website is a great start. We realised when we built FuseSign, we are so focused on the client experience, and we've tried to balance the needs of our clients with the needs of your business. And we think we've done that really well. On the client side, again, easy access for the client, mobile friendly, simple, efficient. And again, as I mentioned, the same experience no matter what they're signing from your business. So that is the part with, and I'll cover off on this in a minute. The BGL integration is super exciting for us because we have hundreds of clients. They also use BGL as well. They want to have their clients not only use FuseSign for all of their day-to-day, accounting compliance documents, but anything that's coming directly out of Simple Fund and CAS as well. So that's what we're trying to focus on. From the business side, we are secure, compliant. We have got, I guess, a focus on making it easy to manage any document out for signing. And that's why we don't have user caps on our business plan. So basically, anybody in your team has access to FuseSign. The more people that have access, the more they're going to embrace digital signing, the more that they will be able to send stuff out securely. It's flexible and it's very cost efficient. So that's the sort of stuff we've tried to balance, and you will see when you have a look at the platform, we have done justice to that. And it's always a bit about, you want all these features, you want, everything right now. It is a balancing act with not overcomplicating some of these things too, because we don't want to put a complicated system in your hands where your team just get lost in the detail. So we've balanced that really nicely. And the way we go about looking at new integrations and new features is based on client demand and feedback. So that's the sort of stuff that we're really passionate about. Given we're accountants on the line, I wanted to share this slide. This came out a couple of months ago. We've got a recent client that had been using FuseDocs, and they went on to adopt digital signing with FuseSign because the interlock between our FuseDocs product and FuseSign is amazing, as you would expect, because it's from the same account. The experience they had has been nothing but awesome. 70% reduction in postage cost, 50% reduction in printing. And on this slide, it doesn't even mention the efficiency they got on the turnaround and the number of documents that got signed in June for that final sign off before, lodgement due dates was phenomenal. So for them, they saw a huge improvement in their workflow and their bottom line. They estimate about 50 grand, which is phenomenal. And that's the sort of stuff we're talking about. And this practice isn't that big. They're a 4-partner practice in a rural location. So if they can embrace it and get those sorts of savings, imagine, in terms of your practice, what that could look like. There's a couple of features that I'm going to mention, and this is where we talk about the uniqueness of FuseSign and why we've done it this way. Obviously, for accountants, we want a fair price point. Now, we're not trying to undercut and make things cheap without the service and the value. We are, and it's very similar to Daniel at BGL. We've talked to them about this. We want affordable, transparent pricing that is available for a really small practice up to a really large practice, but still with the level of service and not making any excuse for our pricing. So we've made it really fair, and we've got it all outlined on our website. We had a chat with a client yesterday actually, and they were frustrated by another provider because they just kept jacking up their prices. And at the end of the year, you've used too much compared to what the plan was, so this is the plan you've got to go on. We do not want to give you that experience. We want to give you the ability to go, this is the plan that suits me. That's what I'm going to get for it, and I'm getting everything that I would possibly need. And for us to open up integrations with any integration partner at that fair price point is what we are trying to achieve. It's very intuitive. It's easy to set up. We say, set up within 15 minutes. It probably could be 5 minutes, but I know what I'm doing. So within 15 minutes for someone that's never seen the platform, add your logo, start sending some documents to some internals to get a feel for it, and then launch it with clients. It's not hard to get that up and running. It is secure. We have a high level of rigor around security and authentication and verification. And again, we make no excuse about that. Or if people are trying to move to a lighter level of authentication or security in terms of the verification of the signer, we've given you the flexibility to choose, but our 100% recommendation would be go with true two-factor authentication with email and SMS. So you're getting quite a lot of rigor around the documents. And as an accounting practice, we're sending really important documents. They're sensitive. They are, they've got tax file numbers on them. There's a lot of, I guess, confidential stuff that we want to make sure it's secure. So you need to put that high level of security that we've allowed for you in our platform. And the other thing with, two-factor SMS authentication, on a business plan, you get free SMS credits. So we're actually giving you the ability to do that at no extra cost for those sort of business plans. So why not? No username and password. That was probably one of the major considerations around building FuseSign. We wanted you to be able to give your client or send your client an email with a secure link and not have to have had set up in advance by you a username and password for them to access their portal or their document stack. So we've achieved that. They click a link, they get a code, they're in. Or they click a link and they've got access to the documents, depending on what level of verification you choose. So yeah, no username and password, nothing for your client to think is a barrier. It's mobile friendly. You can have a complete mobile experience without the client even going to their computer. So email notification and or an SMS notification saying you've got documents for signing. And it's a really nice, simple mobile experience, as well as mobile reminders and notifications, etc. Legally binding audit trails and validation. That is really important, and we've again got more of that on our legal page. The audit trail and rigor around a digital signature is different to an electronic signature. A digital signature is that virtual, imprint of your identity on the audit trail, and that's what we've given you in our platform. So there's a lot of rigor around that. We've got templates. We've got the ability to have a template and have other documents copy. We've got the ability to have form fields. So an example there might be you want to give your client a form to fill out their bank account details, for example, or to add some text. So form filling is another thing that can come into play in an accounting firm. And all Australian designed, built and hosted. We're here based in Brisbane, our development team's here in Brisbane, and all of our documents and infrastructure is hosted in Australia as well. Another couple of things in terms of the impact, I guess, on some of the features for accountants. It is perfect, in terms of how we built it. It is perfect for really large practices. lots of multiple teams, lots of directors, lots of divisions. And the way we've gone about that with our teams function is quite, it's quite amazing. Full view of the practice or team silo view. So firm-wide dashboards, really simple. I like to tell people it's like a physical mail book. If you were having to write down everything that was leaving the office, what's come back, and track that, this is just doing that for you. It's all electronic. You know exactly what's out, what's come back. The control around what you're sending is another really unique feature of FuseSign, and the way we've gone about that control in our grid style view of what you're sending to your recipients and the documents. You can limit who sees a document, who signs a document, or who has no access to a document. And that grid view is patented to FuseSign because of the simplistic approach to that. So if you imagine you've got 10 people getting documents and you've got 20 documents in a bundle, they can all have different actions that they need to take, but it's all contained in the one transaction, which makes it easier for you, and it actually makes it more cost effective because it's all going out in one bundle. I mentioned the teams Chinese walls, giving you the ability to leverage that teams function so you can have security and differences based on what each team is doing as well in your business. And the audit trail, again, is a really important part of how we, I guess, pride ourselves on the rigor and the security around the signing function itself and what's actually happened, and the audit trail that the different parties to a pack have taken when they're signing, when they've viewed things, when they've signed, when they've rejected a document. So you can reject a document, everything else stays as normal, but the accounting firm gets back, oh, the client's rejected this tax return because of this. So that's the sort of rigor we've put into some of the management of those bundles, and the audit trail around that. I could keep talking all day about the uniqueness and the features and why we've done them, because generally every feature in FuseSign has been done for a reason. And we're pretty proud, and we can explain why. And if we're challenged about, well, why did you do that way? We're pretty across why we've done it, and we're happy to be challenged about that. And that's how we actually build all of our software. We want feedback. We have champions in a business that help us identify what's working, what's not, what could be improved, and that's actually how we build out our development cycle. No point having a software business just building software and then saying, here you go, you want this software, when it's actually not come from the user experience. So yeah, we've definitely flipped that on its head. Implementing FuseSign is very simple, and you haven't seen what FuseSign looks like, and that's where we're encouraging you to give that a try. So we want you to go onto our website, start a free trial, 14 days. We'll help you through that. Our help articles and our guides to getting started are really simple as well. But yeah, no credit card, no commitment. It is just literally going in and having a go at what we've got to offer. Like I mentioned, it's quick and easy to set up. Support is available. So our Australian team here, all based in Brisbane, FuseWorks, are here to help you. And we're very happy to do that. We've got some very patient team members. We know that there's different people in your business that have different levels of, I guess, their approach to technology. So we're here to help you through that. You can adjust a subscription level at any time. Again, when you're implementing FuseSign, you will not be locked into a contract. It is month to month. We are very confident in actually all of our platforms where we don't lock you in. It's month to month. You don't like it, you turn it off. Being in accounting practice for many, many years, I hated being locked into stuff that I couldn't get out of if I wasn't happy. So again, we've got so much confidence in our platforms that we don't need to lock you in. You will stay. And our approach to FuseDocs has shown in the last 5 years, our retention rate of our clients is nearly 100%. Like it's phenomenal because of the care and nurture that we give our clients, and the focus on what they're actually after. And the BGL integration is going to be another huge factor in terms of why you should implement FuseSign across your business, not just within BGL, but across everything. So that leads us to this really exciting news. And I know there's been a few, I know Daniel's sort of thrown a few things out into the industry around our BGL integration coming, but we're really excited to be working with BGL because and Daniel said it about us, I love their business model. I love the people. I love how engaged they are with their audiences, and I love the problems that they are solving because I've seen it in our practice. So I'm really happy to be one of the digital signing platforms in BGL. And look, I'm hoping we can capture the entire BGL audience because we've got a really great product and it will be at a really great price point. So whatever point you are in your journey, it's definitely worth exploring. So the BGL integration, so it's a bit of a drum roll. Simple Fund is coming next week in the release. And look, with technology, things happen, and unforeseen things can happen. But at this stage, the expected date will be the 22nd of July for Simple Fund. So you can start using. If you've got a FuseSign account, you can hook it up. It's really, really simple to hook that up. And there'll be some guides around that and some demos, and we will be doing a product launch and a deep dive product. So what it actually means in BGL to use FuseSign. So we will be doing that in the coming month. So stay tuned for that. CAS 360, again, there's lots of complexity around an integration. And me as an accountant, I'm not privy to the development brains of our development team, but I am giving full praise to the BGL team and our team for making this connection really great. And we've seen some of how it's working, and we're really, really excited about that. The CAS 360, there's a few finishing touches. And again, it'll be coming in sort of coming weeks, but it's going to just depend on the next release cycle. So stay tuned for that. But Simple Fund, sort of right on our doorstep. BGL integration, and I don't know how many on the line are using a digital signing platform within BGL now, but if you've not used it, there is so much potential to automate your business and maximize the use of BGL when you add digital signing. You will get real-time notifications. The workflow is dramatically improved. The reminders, I hate paying all those late lodgement fees on, for company compliance. So this is the stuff that just puts more rigor around the workflow. The templates, BGL knows where everybody needs to sign. It pushes that directly through to our system. So there's no setup. It's just a really, really simple process. And the other thing, and I mentioned this, the same client experience with documents coming from BGL or coming from FuseSign directly. That's what we're really focused on. So that's a little bit of a precursor to what is coming. And look, it is coming. We were trying to focus today on why you should think about this. And I would encourage you, now is the time to get FuseSign to trial. So it's ready. It's ready to go in a few weeks' time when you need it. Sorry, Daniel, you got a question?
Melissa, can you hear me?
I can.
Because I can't hear you at all. So your sound's completely cut out, right? So I'm just going to ask you a question that's come through. Does FuseSign integrate with the zero tax program? I believe they use a competitor.
Can somebody else just let me know if you can hear me in the Q&A, please?
I can hear you.
Great. Okay, thank you. Okay, so I think it's just Daniel. So I'm going to answer that question, and I'm going to do that with the next slide.
I'll have to jump on another computer.
Okay. So the question was, does FuseSign integrate directly with Zero Tax? Okay, so Xero have got their own inbuilt digital signing powered by Adobe, I believe. So Xero handle that internally in their own platform with their own signing powered by Adobe. So the answer, direct integration with Zero Tax, no, it's not available, but no externals are. The way we've approached our integrations, we will try to integrate with anything we possibly can where there's a demand for it. So like with BGL, we listen to our clients, and BGL also listened to their clients. They wanted a cost-effective signing solution. Hence why they've allowed us to be part of their amazing platform. But anything like For example, change GPS, full deep direct integration, FYI docs, full deep direct integration, workflow to and fro from their system. Same with change GPS, tracking every document that's left change GPS through FuseSign. So again, you know, Change GPS has an exclusive signing partnership with us. So any document.
What's going on here, Justin?
I can hear you, Daniel. Yeah. Any document that leaves their platform uses our technology, but it's all managed through the workflow, which is similar to the approach with BGL. So the approach, I guess, for any clients on the phone for the likes of for Xero, we have an integration with XPM, so Xero Practice Manager coming shortly. And what that's going to mean is you can send any document, you know, you can send a PDF of a tax return, financials, anything through FuseSign. You're not limited to what you need to send. So if you're looking at sending an annual compliance pack to a client and you've leveraged Xero, you've got financials, tax returns, you've got minutes and other things that need to go out to the client, push them into FuseSign and have the client get one email with everything they need to send or sign. So the integration with XPM is coming, and that will be a contacts integration. So client name, email, mobile, and that's the same that's coming with APS and MyOb AE or AO. So contacts will come through. It'll be a one-way sync. We will absorb the information from your I guess, your platform of choice and your one source of client data, your one source of truth. That's the integration at that contact level. And then the other integrations, and you know, this week we launched an integration directly from GreatSoft. So again, full deep integration with GreatSoft, and Practice Protect is another one that, you know, if you've got single sign-on, we can allow that as well. And I've mentioned FuseDoc. So that's the way we integrate. And again, we will try to integrate with it as many things as we can based on that.
Melissa, I'll just jump in for Daniel here while he gets sorted out. I just have another question. So from Peter again, so if I prefer to use FuseSign rather than Adobe, how would I do that with Xero? Print to PDF?
Yeah, that's right. So thanks, Peter, for that question. Yeah, that's right. So FuseSign can have any document uploaded into FuseSign if it's a PDF document. So again, you know, it comes down to the process and the experience you want to give your team. Depending on what other systems you're using, does that system have a digital signing platform or integration? And how is the client going to receive that information? So you might have, you know, and you might have financial planning, you might have accounting, you might use Xero, you might have other platforms, you know, like Simple Funds, for example. Our approach is giving you a platform that you can use for everything. So it's a choice as to whether you want to use something inbuilt in another platform, because that's going to give you the best workflow. If it's just transactional, that might be okay. But ultimately, we want to give your client the same experience with your branding, your stamp on the documents and the way they receive those documents. I love, and I mentioned at the beginning, I love what I'm doing. I love having, I guess, wearing my accounting hat, but now being able to talk to clients about why we've done what we've done and the impact it's made, not only in, you know, the clients we work with, but broader. You know, Australia and New Zealand are really soaking up technology. And here's some happy clients. And look, for each of these, we've known them for many years. They've used FuseDocs, they've used FuseSign. They have been instrumental in helping us as well pave what the technology evolution looks like. So they're just a couple of examples. We've got lots of case studies on our website. We are very keen to share case studies so that you can put yourself, you know, in the foot of somebody else. And we find this, you know, the feedback you're getting is really, I guess, heartfelt in terms of it's alleviating their pain, their frustration, their burden on the admin team. They're getting time back. It's really amazing in terms of some of the flow-on benefits of a piece of technology.
I was just going to ask you, Melissa, can you hear me now?
And now
I'm back. I was going to ask you, what just some of the exciting developments that you've got coming up, because I know that you guys are always working to improve things, and I think it'd be great for the people to hear maybe like the next 2 or 3 things that you've got in the pipeline.
Yeah, look, probably the biggest thing, and I'm not sure if you saw it, was our integrations and our connectivity to things. So again, coming from frustration, having the ability for FuseSign to just pull contacts from XPM or MyOb or APS or whatever you're using is something that is gold. And the reason it's gold is the flow-on benefit of absorbing that information from one source and not having to duplicate and run the risk of having errors. So that's something that is quite a significant, I guess, impact in the business, in the workflow of an accounting business. And I've managed the workflow, and I've managed people in the accounting business, and it's phenomenal the number of times different people are doing different things. So if you can put a bit of rigor around the data and hold your data secure and true in one spot, that is the ultimate for us. So that's a really big one. There's a few things that we've been working on that are coming out in broader release. Obviously, BGL is huge. The extension of our form filling out and template. So, upload a tax return. Every time you upload a tax return, it knows where to sign and knows where to date. That sort of stuff, again, it's just enriching what we've got, but it's just making a really good job of that. The SMS that I mentioned before, the ability to do everything from mobile, that's something that's very new. We've had SMS verification for a long time. Again, clients go, well, if we've got somebody out of the office and they don't have a computer, what is the way that we can have that client interact with us sort of offline? So those sorts of things. But yeah, there's probably a few other surprises in there that I won't give away. But look, our development list is very long and very thought out and planned in terms of what people are telling us. So if you're on the line and you are a client, we would have asked you this before, because we have lots of opportunity to do that. You need to keep letting us know what you're loving, what you're finding that maybe could be improved, so we can essentially map out what that next period looks like. I've got up on screen here the plans, and like I mentioned, this is all on our website. It is super simple. Generally, a client will say to me, well, where do I start? I don't know. I've come off the back of a really expensive platform, or we've not used it before. I say just start on the Business Lite. You will get everybody in your business being able to use it. You will get lots of credits for a month. You will have all the access to integrations, and you can move and change from there. Again, depending on the size of the business, there's a huge opportunity to have a really great price point if you're a large business. But the price point at the Business Lite is really good. So yeah, we'll talk more about that. But yeah, the fact is we don't want to lock you in, and we want to try to have you align with the best plan that suits you. Our credits system. So when you have a plan, you get credits. And a credit really is anytime you're sending to a signer. So I need to sign something, I consume a credit, or the plan consumes a credit. Currently, so in FuseSign, a credit is a signer. You send it to 2 people, that's 2 credits. The part that is very attractive for BGL, we have capped anything leaving BGL from CAS or Simple Fund, it will only consume 1 credit. So you're sending something for about $1 every time, regardless of if you've got to send it to a couple of people. That price point will be very attractive to you. Our bundles can have unlimited documents, unlimited recipients. And again, you can have, you get free SMS on our business plan and above as well. So again, just trying to take the noise out of stuff and no fine print. Daniel's popped up.
Yeah, no, just look, I love that you've come out with this, and I think for anyone listening, it's an incredible opportunity and offer for BGL clients. And just to bring some clarity around that, what we're saying is that because of the way that we work, and BGL is able to support certain parts of the function, and FuseSign's able to support another part of the digital signing function, then we're able to offer this particular opportunity. Which what that means is that even if you've got 4 or 5 people signing a document, you only get charged for the 1 credit. So effectively, whatever that price comes in at, it could be say $1.20 plus GST. You could have 1 credit, $1.20 for BGL documents, and unlimited people signing. And that we know is a value proposition / model that is nowhere else on the market. And we're thrilled to be able to offer this. And this is why I've been harping on a little bit about this, and we've been talking about with this Melissa, and it's something that is pretty much a no-brainer. So if you're digital signing, this is an incredible option and something that you need to seriously consider.
Yeah. Thanks, Daniel.
Just questions come through, Mel. So just confirming, 1 credit per bundle of unlimited documents and unlimited signers. Yes, that's the case for BGL generated documents only.
That's right. Where you're, and I'll give a bit of context as to why we've approached it this way, where you are sending a bundle of documents, say an entire family group, mum and dad, and you've got trust company, individuals, you've got lots of moving parts and lots of documents. Because we're sending it to 2 people for signing, that would be 2 credits. And the reason we've done that, I know a lot of platforms in the market, and they do it for their own reasons, but they've gone with an envelope approach. So our bundle is like an envelope. It's a bundle of documents. We've not gone with a higher cost per envelope or bundle, because we want you to be able to send anything from FuseSign, 1 document to 1 signer for the cheapest possible price point. And it only makes sense, and I'm pretty fair about this. If you're sending to more people and lots more documents, you would generally expect to pay more. It's like in the mail. I sort of say cost of a stamp is $1 or $1.10 in Australia. If you need to send lots of documents and you're sending to more people in different locations, the cost goes up a little bit because you're sending to more. That's the way we've gone with our pricing. And it is very different to others. So I understand there can be a little bit of confusion around that, but I just want to let you know that's why we've done it for all of those documents. And Daniel sort of covered it. With BGL, we've got a lot more rigor around that, and BGL are doing a lot of the heavy lifting in terms of the workflow. We've been able to cap it at that 1 credit. So hopefully that makes sense as to why we've done that.
And the other thing I'd like to mention too, Melissa, is that with a lot of the signing solutions that are out there, or some of the signing solutions out there, there's the manual markup that's required, so for you to drag signatures onto documents. The way that we are different with what we're doing with FuseSign is that the integration and the signatures are deeply embedded within the product. So effectively, we automatically mark up the documents and the places of signing for you. So you don't have to go through, bring a document in, drag signatures across, pick people up. We do that automatically for you. So one of the biggest points of differentiation between what we do versus other solutions out there is that we are deeply integrated, which means it's a true integration where you pretty much generate the form. We then populate the form with all the digital signing spaces, and then we push it out. We get it signed, and the whole process comes back as a signed document. So there's no marking up that you need to do, which we know, Mel, if you've got to go through a process of marking up documents and adding signature boxes here and there, it pretty much defeats the purpose of it because it takes time.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I love the integration. If people haven't seen it in terms of the way BGL have approached it, it is gold. Like it really is. And what I like, which I heard only a few months ago, they've now got this is a bit of a spiel, the ability to do more than 1 at a time. So you can do bulk in your company statements. Like imagine doing, 10 clients in a row, pressing go, and they all go out for signing. Like that's the stuff that I love.
Yeah, that's our bulk annual review process, which automatically goes through and pushes all the documents pre-populated directly to your clients for digital signing. And then what ends up happening is that you're, through a method and system of notifications, you're automatically alerted when those documents come back signed. And if the client hasn't sent them back, then we'll prompt you to reach out to your clients and engage with them with reminders to send the documents back.
Yeah, I love that. We're nearly finished, but I'm just going to talk very briefly about digital signing and getting started. So there's 2 parts to this. There's probably more, but once you're pretty confident, oh yeah, we do need to embark on digital signing, the problem is your team. And look, you'll probably find that there's not really the barrier you think there is, but why should we adopt it? Bring them along the journey, have them explore it, set them up as a user design. And give them a good chance to give it a go. So the team's one thing, and we can help with that as well. The clients is another. So we've come up with, for every client that comes onto FuseSign, we've got some resources for you. So we give you branded graphics for your socials to let your clients know that you've embarked on FuseSign as your digital signing platform, and this is why. We've given you a little video, we've given you a template to help educate them around digital signing and why you're doing that as well. So yeah, that education piece is really important to us because we want your clients to have the best possible experience as well. So yeah, that's what I thought I would just I'd mention there. And we are free to have as many other questions as we like. And I'll let Daniel have a look and see if there is any more there. But what we've really got, I guess, in terms of next steps is the recording and the slides will come to you by email after this. We really encourage you to sign up with a 14-day trial of FuseSign. Like I said, use that time, be ready for the integration so you can see it in action with BGL, but use it for sending any documents. That's the whole idea, trying to get a unified approach for all of your clients. And follow us on LinkedIn. I am going to see if we can launch a poll here. And what I'm going to do with this poll is let you nominate if you'd like, just, you know, if you've got questions, you want to book in a demo, feel free to do that. If you want, you know, us to just give you a call back to just talk about your signing, or what have you got now, or what are you frustrated, or does FuseSign do this? Happy to do that. Or if you want to jump straight in and just get a free trial, very, very happy for you to do that as well. So I encourage you to do that. You know, there is no obligation. We're not going to harass you. We just want to give you the chance to be able to see it in action. Yeah,
look, the other thing I'll add too is that once we've released it in Simple Fund 360, which I'm pleased to tell you, Melissa, that I've just received notification that it will be this Thursday.
This Thursday, awesome.
And then the one, CAS 360 will probably be the first 2 weeks of August, right? Because there's a bit more work we need to do there. We're going to actually run a full demo of the integration, showing everybody exactly how it works. So I think it's really important that you get to see how it works. If you'd like to know more detail, obviously reach out to Melissa and they're more than happy to help you.
Yeah, that's right. So yeah, this poll will be up for a little bit longer, but was there any other questions that have come through, or anything else at all around digital signing? We've got 2 minutes. Anything else anybody wants to ask while Daniel or I are on the phone? An audience that either knows what they know, or is just keen to get stuck in.
Yeah, so thank you, Barbara. It's come through. Thanks, Melissa. Very informative, which is awesome. Online security. So I assume that there's some stuff that you can provide around that, Melissa, because that's
we can. Yeah, we can. We've got a lot of rigor around the security, and we do take that very seriously, as you can tell from my conversation. So yeah, Darren, I can see that's come through from you. There's some details about that on our website as well. And you know, like a lot of us in the tech industry, we're working through the ISO certification as well. So you'll have comfort that we will officially be ticked off. You know, we tick the boxes, but people like to know it's official. So yes, that's well in train as well.
Yep, and there's just some feedback from Peter that he would like a call back to discuss, so you can sort that one out.
Okay, I will.
Look, we'll wrap it up there. I just want to say thank you, Melissa. It's always a pleasure working with you, listening to you, and I've loved your journey. I've loved what you guys do, and I just think that not only what you're providing for the wider community, but then also for BGL clients is just something that, you know, is very unique, great value, and I know will make a significant difference to our clients' lives. And they're the type of people we love partnering with, and we thank you for what you do, for what you bring to the industry, and for what we've been able to achieve together. And look, this is only the start, so exciting times ahead. So thank you to everyone who joined us today. We appreciate your time. We appreciate the effort that you've gone to be with us. The team from FuseSign will be in touch with those who have answered the poll, so they'll go through all that with you. If you have any questions, please do reach out to us and we will be more than happy to help you. So thank you so much for today. Thanks, Melissa.
Thank you all as well. Thanks, Daniel. Have a great day, everybody.
Ciao, ciao.
Bye.